Okay, I'm back and I've got some more records to attack. And one of these records I'm actually going to attack it verbally. Okay, so let's get into this. To start out, this is a poster that was on sale at the Amino Acid Show down in Detroit that I went and saw and threw up some footage from. And this is a poster advertising the big show for the amino acids. Alright, more poster fun. This is a poster that they were selling at the Spitz Show down in Detroit. Those will be framed and they'll go somewhere on the walls. Like I always say, I'm running out of room, but somehow I find the room to throw more stuff up. Okay, here we go. Here's a record that I just never picked up. I might have even seen it a few times in record stores, but don't really remember seeing it. But I must have. I go to a lot of record stores, and this is Flipper Generic Album. There's the cover, and this is on Four Men with Beards out of San Francisco, California. Very fitting label for a band that is from San Francisco. And this is the little lyric sheet that came with it. And my opinion of that Flipper album is it's pretty good. I mean, it's no plastic surgery disasters or damaged by Black Flag or anything like that, but it's definitely worth picking up, but don't spend more than $30 on it. It's a $25 record. All right. Except for side 2. Now that I think about it, we'll bring that number up to $30 just for side 2 alone. Side 2 on this LP is pretty good. Okay, here's an album from a band that I just went and saw called Surfborked. They're kind of a pop punk, but kind of noisy, wild pop punk. And what I just showed and the jacket that goes with what I just showed is the Friendship Music LP. And this thing is kind of hard to find for under $30, but keep looking. And if you like the footage that was put up on my channel, keep looking and hopefully you'll find it. And they also have a brand new album coming out. I think it's called Keep Truckin'. And it comes out on Record Store Day, and I think that's next month. Anyway, Surfborked, Friendship Music, definitely a punk rock madness party type situation with them. Oh, let me tell you about a standout song. Hillside Strangler by the Hollywood Squares. Very amazed that they covered that. That's a good song. They don't do as good a job as the Hollywood Squares, but then again, who could? Next one is Lesbian in Love. That's a catchy little song. So those are the 2 standouts for me. The rest of it is just noisy, crazy fun. Okay, here's a record that is noisy, crazy. I don't know how fun it is, but it's very noisy, crazy. And this is Sonic Youth, live at the Smart Bar, Chicago, 1985. And I picked this up off of their Bandcamp page. And where's the other record? It's a double LP set. So it's probably the full show. But like I said, it's very noisy. And it helps if you speed it up because it's kind of noisy and slow. But I'm not that familiar with Sonic Youth. But I thought since I can afford more albums now than I ever could before in my life, maybe I should pick some of their stuff up. Here's the jacket that came with it. Looks just like that. And I ordered it from their Bandcamp page. Here's a newspaper type thing that came with it. And it says the name of the songs on the LP and shows wild pictures. So if you're into early Sonic Youth, the Smart Bar recording might be for you. Okay. Oh, and it also came with this sticker. It shows a nurse with a Sonic Youth mask on it. Okay, here's another Sonic Youth record. This is Bad Moon Rising. And the reason why I only have the record is because while I was in California visiting Mona Blea, I got this in the mail. But the weather was really, really bad here in Detroit while I was gone. So when I got home, this package, which I have a box outside that they can leave the records in with a lid on it. So if the weather is a little rough, the records will be just fine. They didn't do that. The mailman just stuck it by the door. So when I got home, it was literally, the package was a little block of ice. So when I had to take a knife and chip into the package, and the album jacket, which I ordered from Tower Records, it was a brand new record, it had seeped through. And the record jacket was destroyed for Bad Moon Rising by Sonic Youth. But the record came out unscathed. And this is also fun to listen to. The songs aren't very catchy, but they're noisy and creative. That's the best way to put it. Sonic Youth, as far as what I know, which I just showed you, is noisy and creative. Just not terribly catchy. Okay, here's another LP. This is Red Fox. Spice Can Be Nice. Another out-of-sight record by Red Fox. It almost looks like a bootleg recording. It's on MF Records. And aside, let's get you back in there. Aside from the album jacket, this thing is really, really funny. So if you're into Red Fox comedy albums and you see this in the store, make sure it leaves the store with you. It's a great Red Fox album. Okay, here is A Back from the Grave, Volume 10, snarling, snotty, mid-60s teenage garage punk hoot. And I picked this up at the Spitz merch table. And I had seen these in record stores for years and years, and I never picked one up. Here's the inside jacket, or the inside of the gatefold. And I bought it just for the artwork on this thing. And here's the inner sleeve. LP just looks like that on Crypt Records. Fits in there real tight. And it's okay. It's like 60s garage rock, except for the last two songs on side 2. Wow, they are good. Song 7 on side 2 is by a band called The Color. And it's Young Miss Larson, and it is very, very catchy. I really wish the Cramps would have covered it. The very last song is by GMC and the R-Cells. It's called The Witch, and it is one of the craziest things I've ever heard. It's the wildest, screaming... I don't know. I don't know what to say about it. It really makes all the other songs on the record, besides what the band The Color do on this thing, it makes all the other songs kind of obsolete. So if you see this in the record store, I'm sure you'll pick it up just for the great cover art But get ready for the last song on this thing. It will knock you down. Okay, another little record I picked up at the Spitz show was Scared of Chaka, live at Jay's. And if you're into Scared of Chaka, this is definitely going to give you satisfaction. It's crazy, thrashy pop punk, and it's very, very catchy. That's what made Scared of Chaka stand out from the other pop punk bands during the 90s, is because they sounded like a cement truck, but it was a cement truck that you couldn't get out of your head. Okay, the next little 7-inch is Acid Attack. And the songs on this one are Dancing in the Fallout Zone. And the B-side is Warsaw. And I bought this thing off of Discogs thinking I was getting an actual vinyl record because that's what the picture showed. But instead they sent me this. And it doesn't play right. It skips a lot, but the parts of it that do play right are kind of unmemorable. Acid Attack wasn't the best early 80s English, I guess, punk rock band, but the fact that when you record this, especially side 2, it starts skipping, the skips actually improve the song. Believe it or not. That's all I've got to say about that, is the skips actually improve the quality of that record as far as being able to enjoy the song. Wow, never said that before about an album. Life throws all kinds of things at you. Okay, this is a Spitz 7-inch that I picked up at the Spitz show. And this one has Army Blood on it, Planet Failure by the Spitz. And it also has Pain and Beat You Up. And Pain is a cover song from that Chips TV show episode about punk rock where the main band, I guess called Pain, sang a song called Pain. And they do a cover version of that, and it's pretty good. The other 3 songs on this Spitz 7-inch are very, very, very good. Wow, this thing is great. What a great little Spitz record. Okay, here's another Spitz record I bought at the Spitz concert. How many times am I going to say the word Spitz? Anyway. And this is the record they had for sale. Can't tell much by this. But here's the jacket that housed it. There's a ticket stub for the Spitz when I went and seen them in Portland, Oregon, many years ago. And I don't know what this album's called. Just called The Spitz on Thrift Store Records. And I had the band autograph it for me, which was not an easy task, but I got them to do it. Is this thing any good? I guess you'd call it the children's record by the Spitz. Yes, it is. This is a really good Spitz record. Trying to think of some standout songs on it. School's Out's really, really good. Flags is great. Police, Eyesore Society, I Live in a Van, Rip Up the Streets, Tonight. Every song on this thing is out of sight. Don't be afraid to pick it up. Sounds like I'm trying to sell those records. Like if I would sell any of my records. That's kind of funny. A lot of the bands, when I get an album autographed, they kind of hint that I'm going to try and sell it. Little do they know. I will die with all these records. All right. And while I'm at it, why don't I show you some more Spitz records. Let's lift these up. Here's NoFX The Spitz. It's a split, white vinyl. That's that. Is it any good? That's okay. It's not bad. The NoFX song is good. The Spitz song is good. Let's put all the 7 inches together here's the Spits. This record doesn't have a name. I don't know of any of the Spits records that have a name. This one's really good. It's got remote control on it. Saturday Night, Die Die Die, Black Car. I guess we'll call it the Robot Skateboard record by the Spits. Here is the Motorized Desk Wheelchair record by the Spits, and this one is a standout because it's got the song Let Us Play Your Party on it. And Take Back the Alley. Those two songs on this are out of sight. And if you want to know what the Spits sound like, all these albums are on the YouTube. All you have to do is scroll until you see the cover. This one, standout songs, Don't Shoot, Fluff News, Violence Cup, and The Great Nuclear Bomb by Kalamazoo, Michigan band The Spits. What's a good song on this one? Oh, I guess you'd call this Blondie and the Robot. Excuse me. This would be Space Seattle Pope. Oh no, I think this one is called 19 Million ACEP LP. That's the name of this thing. This one's got Violence Cup. That's a great song. Dropout. Pissed Off Baby. Shitty World. Another great Spits album. All right, here is the new Spits LP. I think this one is the red vinyl. I have the red vinyl and the green. This one might be the green vinyl. Who knows? It's a mystery. You can't tell by the jacket. And side one of this is really, really good. Side two, not so good. Side one's really good. Side two, great album cover though. And the t-shirt they had for sale at the Spits show had this on the front and this on the back. And I was glad that they had tour shirts. There it is again. Okay, now I'm about to show you a couple of, well, one record, but two different copies. This thing is a masterpiece through and through. I don't know what you'd call this record. It's the Spits. I don't know. That's what the album cover looks like. This is the tour edition of it that I bought in Portland, Oregon. Might have even been at this show. Here's what the LP looks like. And it's just called The Spits. But it has I'm a Mess, All I Want, Electric Brain, Fallout Beach, My Life Sucks, I'm Scum, A Last Man on Earth. Every song on this album is the greatest thing you've ever heard. Whatever this album's called. Doesn't say there. It's just called The Spits. And this is just the normal version of it. I don't think the... Oh, it's got this. This is kind of different from the tour version. This little jacket. Our inner sleeve. They just thank people. Anyway, when you're looking for a Spits record and you can only afford one, this will be the one. All right, let's see what's going on here. Oh, yeah. Excuse me, I've got a chest cold. I'm going to end this video, I'm going to end this video on a negative note. But let's get to some positive. This Little Circle Jerks action figure man. I'm not going to open it, but it looks like he can bend his arms and legs and stuff like that. And the quality of this is really good. It's actually way better than I thought it was going to be. So there's the little Skank Man. And if you buy it and you're going, wow, they charged a lot of money for that, I hope it's good. Don't worry. When you get it, you'll say, okay, I don't feel so bad about them charging so much. Oh, geez, this thing popped out. There. Now I'm a completist. All right. Let's get into an album that I accidentally ordered 2 of, just due to failing memory, and this is the Circle Jerks, Wild in the Streets. And this is the 40th anniversary reissue of this wonderfully perfect record album. And here's the jacket. Let's put this together while I'm showing it to you, since this is going to be the last of the video. Here's the little sticker they sent with it. Advertisements on the back. Here's the hype sticker that was on it. And it came with this book. I guess booklet that looks like that inside and tells the story of how they put this album together. This wonderful album. And the 40th anniversary has bonus tracks, and those bonus tracks were recorded at the Elite Club in San Francisco, California, April 1982. So that's the Circle Jerks, and here is more of the Circle Jerks. It's the same thing. Same book. Same inner sleeve. But the LP looks like this. But it's the same thing. All right, here we go. Let's get into the negative. On the 40th anniversary edition of this record, it sounds great. This is an original copy of that record on Faulty Products, and this one is louder. So when you play it, this one's kind of more loud, it's more distorted, and it's louder than the special reissue. The reissue sounds cleaner, it just sounds like they cleaned up this version of it, which is okay, that's fine. Now let's get to the complaining. On the song Leave Me Alone, there's a little guitar part where not in front of the guitar, but in back of the guitar, but you can clearly hear it. Keith Morris is saying the word pressure, pressure over and over again, and then he lets out this remarkable scream. That is cut out of this version. So when you hear the song, Leave Me Alone, and you're waiting for the part where Keith Morris is screaming pressure, pressure, you're not going to hear it. It's not on there. That is a big deal. That's one of the standouts of this record that made it so intense, was that part of the second song on side A. That's really too bad that they cut that out. Who knows why they did it, but it really hurts. It almost ruins the song. Anyway, then we're going to get to Defamation Innuendo, side 2. And it's the third song. Yeah, third song, side 2. And the typewriter that you hear on this original version, guess what? It ain't on the new one. They've taken the typewriter out. Amazing. They took the sound of the typewriter out. It destroys your memory of this album. Because the first time you heard this thing, you heard the typewriter, you heard him screaming pressure. You don't hear that anymore. That's all gone. So, should you buy the 40th anniversary? Not when you have a chance to get this, the original. That's the end of this video. I'm sorry it ended on a bad note, but I had to let the world know. Typewriter pressure missing. And let's see. This is the big comparison. So they're pretty much the same. End of video. Good night.